Welcome, everybody. What's going on out in YouTube land? I know one thing we're doing, we're messing with this. It's the Griffin from Real Steel. This is really an interesting knife. This was popular, I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that. I remember it, right? But I don't remember a titanium version that many years ago. I think it was mostly G10, something like that. I'd have to look back. But wow, this is titanium. This had modifications done based on their, I think, Facebook people and this and that inputting information or, things to them like, hey, do this instead of that or whatever, including this titanium milled pocket clip, because it wouldn't surprise me that Real Steel thought they were going to put a stamp clip on here. And that has happened in the past to other brands as well, where, people are going, you got such a nice titanium knife, why didn't you do a titanium clip? So they did that as well. And the texturing here to be more aggressive and interesting, and it is interesting, isn't it? Look at that texturing. Wow, that is something. That is something right there. Ooh, that's cheese grater. I mean, it is to a degree. That's very aggressive. And then, of course, this. Now, this wasn't a fan thing here. It was just the texturing and the pocket clip. But this will keep it from being disengaged, right? So you can't do anything till you click that off, and then you can close it, right? So it's a button lock. I'm sure there's a spring back behind there. And I don't know, I was looking in here thinking, are those bearings? I mean, it kind of swings like that, but I thought I was seeing some kind of a nylon washer or something in there. So I think we had to take it apart just to kind of check it out. But the big thing about this is Vanax. It's a Vanax blade. It says that right here. So that must be true. It was on the internet. It got to be true. No, but Vanax, Carson design. And Carson he's done several for them in the past. But Vanax, I'm going, wow, okay, that makes it unusual, doesn't it? If it's like regular, I mean, I'm almost really tired of M390 on everything, right? But the fact that it's Vanax and it's 80% humidity, down here in Florida, a lot. So this is definitely not going to corrode. It is a high nitrogen steel, like 1.5%, but it's like 18, 19% chromium, and it's about 3.5% vanadium, but very little carbon. Right? And nitrogen as opposed to that. And, I read up a bunch. I got kind of lost, actually. Was like, how about Vanax versus MagnaCut? And here's the Vanax composition. And why would you get Vanax? And does, that kind of thing. And it's interesting. You should Google it sometime and check it out. It's interesting. It's nice steel. It has pretty good edge retention. And it is super clean. I mean, it's particle metallurgy, right? So it's got that. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of good stuff about it. And I've had several other knives with Vanax on them, right? But Kunwu was the one I can remember recently, and it had Vanax, and my buddy from Cape Coral was saying, that's the one you ought to probably carry because it's not going to corrode, right? It'll see a lot of moisture, but it's not. And I go, you know what? I had forgotten about that. But yes, it is very corrosion resistant. And so here's this, and it looks like it's weight relieved all to hell. And then we've got some kind of liner in here, probably supporting this whole thing with the lock and the button and all that stuff. It drops shut very nicely. It is centered. Yes, it is. You got to rotate the knife correctly to look. And there's your pocket clip. Oh, and they were also talking that the fans on whatever that were contributing information were saying, make this clean as far as lots of screws on it. So they did. The screws are on the back here. So there's that. And then the screw for the pocket clip comes from the inside here. So this should be this screw, and this thing should pull apart. Nice and drop shut. I mean, here it is. Just push the button and it drops. Okay? Now, it's a full-size knife as well. So now that we're a billion minutes into this, but yeah. 3.5, and then you get up here, you get more. There's 3 3/4 up here. It's weird how this bolster kind of comes out near the bottom and not near the top. Usually they slant that way, but not that way, and it's kind of interesting. Okay, so, but 3.5, let's say at 3 3/4, 3.5 at minimum, and then 8.15, overall length at 20.5 or 20.6 centimeters. Wow. Okay. Now, let's see what our little Vanax blade will do here. And it is a nice, clean cutting blade, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, no nicks, problems, or anything like that with this. And you know what? What do we got here? 3.2 millimeters at 0.12 of an inch. Not bad. And 0.49. So about a half inch at 12.5 millimeters. So it's not super thick. And this is 3.2 millimeters, which is better than the 2.8, or it's thicker than the 2.8 I've been testing mostly. And every once in a while I'll get a 3.5. But so this is pretty good, pretty stout, and I love the design. The Griffin was popular and still is. Oh, by the way, shit, I was going to do this. There's Carson, the designer, Vanax, super clean, etc., etc. And I think I have a discount code for them as well. You have to look down below. And, oh yeah, in the fan base, blah, 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 talked about the 3D clip and the reduced screw interface on the primary side, presentation side. But I was looking on White Mountain Knives, like, what do they got for Griffin still? And here's from 2017. They still got one, at least, in stock, maybe several. Remember these? These were carbon fiber inlay and then M390, right? Wow, okay. And then these are the Griffin Pro 14C. They're $65. Check that out. There's the blue, right? And then here, there's different colors. Okay, $59. This is on the Real Steel site. Okay, so you can get the Pro for $59. Now, 65, as they show, is the normal price here that they've crossed out. 65 here, but 10% off, then that's $6.50. So okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. I don't know if Real Steel charges you shipping and tax. I know that that White Mountain does not, so you'll have to balance that. But and also what's in stock, that kind of thing. But if you want to get a 14C model, that'd be pretty cool as well. But this is titanium and Vanax. Yeah, this is all kinds of fancy, but I like it. Here's the box, and here's what they say here. Griffin Ultimatum. Yes, it is. And what does it say in here? This gives you the information. They always have a piece of paper in the box that talks about the actual knife that's in the box. And so here you go, Vanax, all this kind of stuff, designer, button lock, that kind of thing, blade length, etc., etc. Then some kind of just generic stuff, but also, stuff that you can scan. And then the microfiber cloth, which you know, the knife is rolled up in. So that's good there. And it's a solid box. It's a standard looking, you know, silvery real steel box. Okay. The Griffin ultimatum, really? Ultimatum. Okay. Yeah, there's an ultimatum for you, buddy. And yeah, it just swings nicely, doesn't it? Okay, feels good. Ergos, fine. This could interfere a little bit because it just depends on where your fingers are, whether it might hit you funny. Here, you know, I can put my first finger up here. This is okay, and then these are fine. Okay, so it fits me, but I mean, it's not everybody holds the knife the same way, so it seems okay, pretty well. This doesn't bother me, but I think some people might feel like this is a little pointy here on that clip, so maybe that might be a thing for people. It's not a thing for me, but yeah, I've seen people talk about, you know, milled clips that have a thing that points out like an arrow, and it's like, ooh, gee, a little bit too much, but it's nicely rounded, so it shouldn't be too bad. And, you know, nice clean look in the front, except, yeah, you got the lock. But the lock's nice to have, right? So in that case, you got everything here. And it's full size. And how much does it weigh? Yeah, and I didn't get into that, and I should. 107 grams. That's not much. Let's go back to ounces if we don't jump past it. 3.8. Not bad. Okay. No, it's fairly light for a full-size titanium knife. Yeah. And it feels good. And where's my balance point? It's right under there, isn't it? Okay. Now, let's get the big blue out and see what's up with this. And do I even need number 6? And I don't know. But let's kick this. Thank God this one unscrewed for me. I think they got some thread locker on there. And, oh, okay. We got something smearing on here. Some kind of little stuff. We'll check that out here. Okay, this here is where our standoff is. So this is our other one. And it's a number 8 as well. I think that's going to be it. Ooh, yeah, and it goes all the way through, doesn't it? And there it comes. Now, what do we got? This is the standoff that was in here, and so that just comes out, right? Okay. All right, and that has that little dimple on one end, but nothing on the other. Okay, so it does go in a particular way. And, oh yeah, you've got ceramic bearings, and they're kind of like a multi-row kind of looking thing, and it's weight relieved here. Here's your stop, and here's the back of your spring, where your spring goes, because your spring is doing its thing on the plunger here, and there it goes right on the table. Thank God it didn't bounce on the floor. I'd be a half an hour finding it. Okay, so what was I seeing? Let me pull this off. Okay, there's the plunger. We got that out. That's fine. Okay. What is in here? So there it is. And there it is with these. Let's pop these out. If we can. Come on. Just need the edge. There we go. There's the bearings on that side. And then, yeah, I guess it's just metal. I thought there was almost like a nylon thing here, but there isn't. That's just metal. Okay. Weird. It kind of looks funny, doesn't it? It's just the way it's machined, I guess. What is this? Now, here's, of course, your steel washer. I was getting something in here, and I don't know what it was. Yeah, it's something. Something. I don't know what it was. Okay. But there's that. Otherwise, it's clean inside. And this is fine. And here is your pivot. And it's D-shaped, so it's captured? Question mark. Okay, where is it captured at? I don't see it captured there. I don't really see where it's captured here. Let me take this out. It's not captured here either. Isn't that strange? You got a flat side here, but I don't know where it's captured. I don't see a place where it's actually captured. No, not here either. Okay, so there's your little slide lock deal, where it goes back and forth here, right? And here's the little thing that provides a little detent situation for that lock. You know, you can see the two areas where that ball slides in, where it goes, and it gets, you know, it gets that feeling of that that bar here when it clicks one side to the other. Okay, all right. So that's pretty much it. That whole liner in there is just really looks like it's set up pretty much just for that lock mechanism. Otherwise, I don't know why it exists necessarily, right? And this all looks like weight relieving through here. Okay, but that's it, folks. There's your disassembly. Because real steel's the real deal, baby. The Griffin Ultimatum, Titanium, and Vanax. So we got a great combination here from a classic, years old classic. But it comes in very inexpensive format with the Pro, Griffin Pro, at what, $59? Or this, much more expensive, but way ass cool, looking good. You guys, I'll put the links below, and stay sharp.